go, Barflies. Welcome to the Barfly Tailgate Show. You already know it's live. It's done by Barflies, for Barflies, and all the other Bears fans out there. 2-game slide. Offensive line died. There's just, not that they've really been alive this season, but there's problems going on, man. We're going to bring it all to you today with a quick recap of the Saints game. And then we're going to get into this Titan madness and see if a team that has no defense could beat a team that has no offense. It's going to be, I don't know, man. It's going to be miserable. Let me introduce the guys first. We got Mr. Badge, Ryan Badge, the Badge of Honor. Badge, what's up, man?
Morning, fellas. It's Sunday. It's game day. Bears Titans in Nashville. There's actually going to be fans in the stands. This is the second time in the season, I believe, that the Bears have played in front of fans. So that's huge. But yeah, man, Bobby, as you mentioned, it's going to be interesting. A little piecemeal here and there. Got my Manscaped shirt on. My balls are feeling good.
That's right.
Let's roll.
So fresh and so clean. Next, we got Mr. Aaron Current, the bearded Bears fan. AC in the place to be. AC, what's up, man?
What's going on, fellas? We got some bipolar-ass weather down here in Kentucky. It was like 20 degrees last week, and then yesterday I was out. It was like 70-something. I was out here wearing shorts and T-shirts, man. I don't know what to think about it, but I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? Shit, you talked about no offense going against no defense. We saw that last week, and our Bears weren't able to take advantage. We'll see if we can flip that around this week and maybe do something about it. I don't know.
I don't know, man. We definitely. I mean, is an explosion ever going to happen? An offensive explosion? I mean,
if it was going to happen, I feel like we needed the strength of our offensive line. I mean, we got that. Like I said before we got on,
did you say the strength?
Well, I'm saying they're calling guys out of the stands. You know what I'm saying to play all line. Speaking of in the stands, I was supposed to be in freaking Nashville this weekend, but once COVID happened, I was like, man. I was like, these tickets, I was like, they still got tickets, but people who are getting them's got a little bit more money than your boy AC does. So,
dude, all of us were, and I almost drove down on Friday. I almost made a spur of the moment decision. I texted the wife; she was at work. I'm like, "Yo, you want to go to Tennessee for the Bears? You want to take a road trip?" And she's like, "Yes." So then I was like, "Let's go to Tennessee for the Bears game this weekend." So we're leaving tonight. She's like, "I work tomorrow and Sunday," and I was like, "Oh well, how the hell do you want to take a road trip, lady?"
Yeah. So wait, what happened to you wanting to take a road trip?
Yeah, I don't know, man. And then the kids are like, "Let's go, all of us." I'm like, "Yo, pump the brakes. You little shits ain't coming with us." Like, all right, man. Let's
gotta get away.
Time to run. You guys are old enough to take care of your shit. Let's get into this Bears game. Let's get into this game against the Saints, man. A game that honestly even with everything, we should have won.
Yeah.
This goes into overtime. I mean, I think we should have pulled this one off, man. A lot of things in the middle there. Another third quarter disaster. We start off 13-3. We give up a touchdown with 3 seconds before the half. Which was just shit defense. And then I don't know what the hell goes on at halftime in the locker room, but I think it's like, all right, fellas, we're going to come out and chill in the third quarter because that's all we've done all year. Laser came out with a comment like, well, I think we need to start scoring in the third quarter. Well, no shit. Like,
right.
I don't know. Obvious.
Yeah, like, I don't know what the hell's going on. Badge, what's your thoughts of the game last week, man? And
I mean, where do we go from here? Here it was what week were we in? 8 of the season, and the second drive of the game was the best offensive drive I felt that we've had all season. We finally hit not one, but 2 big plays. And the second big play resulted in a phenomenal play by Allen Robinson and a phenomenal catch from Allen Robinson to hang on to that ball. And, things at that point really started looking up, so we scored that touchdown. We don't let the Saints score on the next possession. We get the ball back, and we're able to go up 13-3, Bobby, as you said. And then with a minute plus left, 30 maybe, I think, if I remember correctly, we allow them to just march down the field like we're not even there playing defense. And that's not what this defense does. Yeah. And for some reason it happened. I don't know if they thought the Saints weren't really going to try to put up points, but it's Drew Brees. It's Alvin Kamara. Yes, they didn't have Michael Thomas, but they still have guys on that team that can make plays. And the fact that we kind of just sat back soft, I mean, the touchdown to Jared Cook, I mean, I love Jalen Johnson, but dude, like,
they weren't even covering the guy.
Yeah, like you were 8 yards away from him. He caught the ball and kind of cowered like he was going to get hit, and then he's like, "Where the hell is everybody?
Right,
there's nobody there."
And we seen that earlier. It was almost the same thing a few plays earlier where the dude was just wide open and it was a missed pass. And like, how do you not go back and adjust and fix it, man? I mean, it was literally felt like, oh, well, we got a good enough lead. Let's play back and try to not give up a touchdown. And then they're like, oh shit, we're about to give up a touchdown.
Yeah. And then so from there, now New Orleans gets the ball to come out of the half as well. So, they have that opportunity to score multiple point or, back-to-back possessions. And then, the third quarter, they tie the game up on a field goal. Then they go up 16-13. And then Javon Wims. I mean, you have that happen. And I love Javon. I don't, he came out, said what he said. The other dude denied what he said. Something happened. I get it. Mm-hmm. I love Javon. Mm-hmm. I think he's a great player on this team. I think he can be a factor on this offense. But come on, dog. You can't be doing that on the field, throwing haymakers, man. Like, and then, I mean, you're going to throw a haymaker, at least connect with the first one, bro. Like, he like took hit him a fucking whiff.
Dude, he hit him and he was like this, like.
Yeah, like it's like he turned his head, like to, and then he hit him again. And then the interception from Foles, the very next play. I mean,
that whole sequence was bad. We had to delay a game right before that.
Delay a game right before that. I'm not a Mitch Truther. I'm not a Foles lover, but that interception Nick threw, I mean, that's the worst fucking interception I've seen somebody throw in a Bears uniform in a long time.
Let's stay on Wims for a minute, though. So CJ Gardner Johnson, right? This is the same dude that Michael Thomas punched in the face.
Right.
And that's his own teammate. So, I mean, we're talking about a guy who obviously knows how to get under somebody's skin. He ripped off Wims' mouthpiece, like 5 or 11 plays earlier, whatever it was, earlier in the game. You've seen the mouthpiece on the field a couple times. Wims claims that Johnson spit on him. Either way, the dude's a punk, and Wims wasn't having it, man. And the way it comes out, Johnson says he didn't spit. Wims says he did. Johnson gets a $5,128 fine for unsportsmanlike conduct. And Wims ends up, I don't know what the monetary fine was for Wims, but he ends up getting a 2-game suspension, so he won't be back till after Minnesota. Does that, I mean, obviously in the game, it didn't really fire the team up at all.
Yeah.
It led us to another third quarter of punt, interception, punt, turnover on downs. That was our third quarter. So another dismal third quarter where we can't score. And I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of people are like, oh, he took the momentum away. He did this. He did. The Bears have put up 7 freaking points in the third quarter this year. All out of every game. There is no momentum.
Fucking season. No.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing at halftime? What are the adjustments you're making?
I feel like it's like when SCLSU was playing the Cougars in there in halftime, and the coach just pops out, anybody got any ideas?
Yeah.
Right.
And and then they just come out flat and shit, I don't know. KB.
Look at this. We got our boy on site, just waiting for that bell to go off and the alarms to start hitting. We got Mr. Ryan
Man.
Kirkland, Billings, KB, what's up, dude?
What's going on, fellas, man? I'm listening to everything y'all saying, and it's like my man said, bro. It's like AC said. It's like watching The Water Boy. I need somebody at halftime to come with something, bro. It's just no fire, no fight. You come out in the halftime, you only scored 7 points in the third quarter once this year. Come on, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm morally defeated. Like I'm defeated, dog. I don't know what to say.
Last week, man, the Saints and our defense gave us every chance to stay in that game. And I just felt like we just blew away every single chance they gave us. I mean, the defense, absolutely, they gave up a terrible drive right before the half. But other than that, I mean, you had Drew Brees, and granted, he didn't have all his weapons. He had Kamara and Cook, basically. And our guys, they were holding them to field goals or 3 and outs or making them punt even. And thank God we finally have a punt returner, man. That dude, I mean, he didn't do anything to blow the game wide open, but at least he was catching the rock. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He catch the ball, caught the ball and trying to move it.
Yeah,
I mean, that's all you could ask for.
Like trying to move the ball with a purpose instead of like like tiptoeing around, man.
Yeah.
and we all seen it. And if you don't know in the chat, Ginn has been released.
Man.
Yeah. So he's done.
I mean, the fact that he was on this roster this long with the young talent on the depth chart behind him makes me question this coaching staff even more than I was prior to this point. I mean, we got to see Riley Ridley a little bit last season, and he didn't really make any like major splash plays, but he looked good out, I mean, they primarily used him in the run game, but then when he did finally get an opportunity to catch a football, he did a great job. So the fact that we signed Ginn, and I get it, the guy's a veteran, he can teach them things, and I'm sure he probably did. But the fact that we were playing this guy this far into the season over a kid like Riley Ridley, it just makes me question everything about what's happening with this coaching staff. What are these guys?
I
what are
think
these guys missing that we're? I'm not an expert. We're we're fans of this team, and why do we have differing opinions on what's happening not only on the roster, the scheme, who's situations, who's on the field? What, are we that naive that you know what I mean? Like that's the thing that I'm struggling with is we're sitting here, all 4 of us, and I know it's happening on other networks too.
Oh yeah.
And all of us are like, what the hell?
Yeah.
What has happened? Why is this guy on the field and this guy isn't? Why is it this formation? Why are we running to a fucking jet sweep to the short side of the field 6 times a fucking game? It's driving me nuts.
Matt Nagy would be undefeated as a 7-on-7 coach. He just he just doesn't know how to do anything else, man. If this dude was a straight in a league of 7-on-7, he'd be a beast. But like when it comes to everything else, man, he just doesn't know how. I don't know, man. And you see it. I mean, you see everybody. He doesn't know how to make adjustments. I don't think that he literally preps for defenses. I think he preps his offense for what he wants to do. I feel
like he's a glorified offensive coordinator.
Yeah. Yeah, if that, man. I mean, we said, we've seen – so with all this, right, with the frustrations, with the fan frustrations, with Wims punching somebody in the face, with CP coming out and saying that, he should – when he retires, he should be a GM, with all the players coming out and saying extend A-Rob. And I know like that's some of it's against the front office, some of it's against Nagy. You got Foles like not giving Nagy a high five after that touchdown to Mooney. Nagy's got his hand up and Foles just fucking walks past him. And Nagy taps him. Nagy taps him on the shoulder and Foles doesn't even turn around. You got the comments that Foles said with like, well, sometimes when he calls a play, it's going to take too long to develop or whatever. So, or I don't have enough time to call it. You got a lot of like animosity amongst everybody. Is Matt Nagy losing this team and this offense? Like, are they losing their, belief in him and his system?
KB, why don't you take this one, man?
I don't want to say that they're losing trust in the system, but you obviously clearly have a quarterback who doesn't believe in his play calling. It's as simple as that. Foles doesn't believe in Matt Nagy as a play caller. He came out and said as much. I mean, when you have a quarterback who openly comes out and says he calls plays and doesn't realize how long it takes for these plays to be called or to even develop, I mean, dude, that's just like saying in not so nice way, dude, you fucking suck.
Yeah.
And you're getting me killed. You have to watch this man drop back in the pocket, and he's consistently throwing off his back foot.
Mm-hmm.
These plays aren't designed for Nick Foles. These are the plays that he's not comfortable with running. I've said it before. The dude likes to do play action and he likes to throw deep. He loves to throw the deep ball. I think everybody realizes that. Why don't we do it? Why don't we play off of his strengths more? It's the same deal that we had with Trubisky. If you knew Trubisky was better at doing play action fakes and doing all this other shit, why aren't you running things that Trubisky is good at?
Yeah,
but you don't.
Nagy's just so stubborn, man. He's
and
just,
then you get
this is my system,
your quarterback
this is what I'm going to run.
Yeah, then you get your quarterback sucks. Well, when you don't know how to call plays right, you don't have any kind of scheme for any defense, and you're just going to call your plays off of whatever you want to do.
He doesn't build off plays. If he does have a good play, like he's like, oh, okay, well that worked. Now let's flip it around and do a reverse, or like if David Montgomery gets 3-4 yards a clip, turn around and do a play action and throw it over top of those safeties. It's not that if I'm a fanalist and I can see that, how are you a head coach and cannot see that? And I think it comes down to two things. Number one is the scheme. Like I just said, Nagy, it seems like, has no idea what he's doing. He doesn't stack plays. He doesn't build off of other positive plays. And number two, our offensive line is just not that good. And I feel like Nick Foles is seeing shadows in the pocket back there, man. I mean, he drops back and like you said, KB, he's throwing off his back foot, and he doesn't trust the protection in front of him. So he's just like, I'm gonna try to throw it up and hope my guy makes a play, and that's what happened on the Jimmy Graham interception. He threw it off his back foot, try to hope Jimmy can make a play, and it was way far behind Jimmy Graham. Now, if he had thrown it ahead of Jimmy Graham, who knows what would have happened? But I mean, he threw it way behind him, and it just went straight to the defender.
So on plays like that, though, right? Because I mean, we're looking at a quarterback that's got 8 touchdowns and 7 interceptions, I think. In Foles, since he's come in, he's got 8 TDs, 7 interceptions, I believe.
And like I said, if it was Trubisky, we would be crucifying this man right now.
Yeah, but do you still?
And that's the honest guy truth.
Do we still blame Nagy for those 7? That's 7 changes of possession. That should be on Foles. I mean, I think Nagy didn't make Foles throw an interception. You know what I'm saying?
He didn't make him throw those picks, no. But the fact
get
of the matter is,
could be different.
He doesn't help.
Yeah, some of those. I mean, so I'm not. Granted, I think it should all be. A lot of it centers around Nagy. 100% it does, right? But even if you're a struggling offense and struggling moving the ball, throwing the ball up and throwing 7 picks and giving the defense 7 extra possessions doesn't help. I mean, granted, Nagy can't get anything going, but when there's a chance or it always seems like when things start to move or start to go downfield, something happens. There's a pick, or like Nagy said in his presser after the game, he hadn't seen Wims punch CJ Gardner Johnson. He didn't see it. He was looking at his play sheet, prepping for a 3rd and 5, and calls a play for that, and then had to readjust because he found out there's a penalty.
To me, guys, I feel like the thing with Foles here is because he's a veteran, he kind of gets that the ability to make mistakes and get the opportunity to stay out there because you've seen flashes of him obviously in that Atlanta game. He looked fantastic. Then you turn and you look at that second drive of the game this past week. he looked great. When we're behind, he looks like a very good quarterback. The fact of the matter is this, guys, and we said this when all the talk was here about Foles coming to join this organization. The guy's a career backup. He's not a starter. And the Bears put their cards in Trubisky, and Nagy and Pace put their cards in Foles if Trubisky failed. They felt Trubisky failed, and they brought in Foles. And he's not the answer. This team today, this is a team that, should go out and win this game no matter the circumstances. But with the people in charge and the people in your skill positions, I mean, you look at a guy like Allen Robinson, look what he's played with in his career. Went from Blake Bortles to Mitch Trubisky, and now he's playing with Foles. I mean, imagine if he was with Matt Stafford in Detroit. Imagine if he's with Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. I mean, he puts up phenomenal numbers year over year. What if he's on a different team? And that could come to fruition here because the front office just doesn't get it. And Foles had, these interceptions he's thrown, yes, they're drive killers, absolutely. Any turnover is. But I feel like he's rebounded from them and come out on the next drive and made something positive happen. But it's not enough. You can't have them. You can't have them. I mean, this is his fifth start, and he's thrown 7 picks?
Yeah.
That's a problem. You can't turn the ball over. Your defense already is carrying this team, and now you've got the quarterback giving the ball back, so now they're on the field even more. And I mean, at some point, something's got to give offensively. And I really hope that Ryan Pace, Ted Phillips, George McCaskey, the rest of the people in the front office are seeing what's happening right now with this coaching staff and recognizing how awful things are going, and they do something to correct it. I mean, knowing the history, it's probably not going to happen, but you got to hope for it.
Well, I wanted to touch on something that Darren Chambers is saying in the chat. He said, "Time for Tyler Bray," which I'm hoping that's a sarcastic remark, because if you think I watched him play at Tennessee, if you think Nick Foles and Trubisky overthrow players, that man Tyler Bray, that's all he does is overthrow his players. And then he says, "Time to draft Mac Jones from Bama." Sounds like a good idea in theory. Mac Jones was a Kentucky recruit, so I watched him in high school, and he picked Bama over UK, which, I mean, who can blame him there? You're going down there to win titles. But that's another – he's got a good, accurate arm, but you want to talk about a guy who has to have an O-line in front of him, that's another one like that. So, to me, if we're going to start talking draft, I need to solidify this offensive line with the first-round pick, and then hopefully someone falls to me in the second round, like a Kyle Trask or someone from – I don't know. Who knows? But our front office has not shown the ability to go out and draft the correct players in the first place. So I don't know if I even trust them to do that.
They haven't shown it. I mean, the last 2 years we haven't had first round picks, but regardless, they've done well in the later rounds. And we've seen a team that just 2 years ago, 3 years, had a complete overhaul at wide receiver. We had some of the worst wide receivers in the league, and then they turned around and
Dontrell Inman as our number one.
I mean, Josh Bellamy, and they turned around and they flipped it on their head. Yeah, they turned around, flipped it on its head, and were able to come out with some good fucking wide receivers from that. So can that be done with the offensive line? I don't know, because the offensive line is also a lot harder to beef up that position. You know what I mean? I seen 4,000 Clovers comment in here where he says quarterback running for his life with this O-line. Would you rather it be Trubisky running or Foles? Well, running, I'd rather be Trubisky.
Yeah.
Throwing, I'd rather it be Foles. So I think
Trubisky isn't even an option because he's out today. So
Shoulder,
not anymore. I mean, we'll get to injuries and the COVID stuff here in a second. Final thoughts on the Saints game for me was we should have came away with it. I think we should have came away with it. Even with everything happening, we should have came away with that game. And we seen a team that went from the first couple games of the season when it was time to win and when it was time to do that, when it was time to put teams away, they were able to. This might be the first time that we've seen where it was time to put a team away and we weren't able to do it, which is obviously disheartening and shows you that, there might be a lot more worse things to come. I don't know. I don't know if you guys got any final thoughts on the game, but I
agree with everything.
I think that sums it up. Yeah.
All right, so let's move into injuries and the COVID stuff. Going off of 4,000 Clovers, Trubisky's injured, throwing shoulder again. They said he will not need surgery. It was the one play that he came in, which somebody called with a bold prediction. Just saying, somebody last week might have said that Trubisky gets some playing time, and he does get one play and then hurt his shoulder. Now we're down to Foles and Tyler Bray. And though it was kind of, I didn't really see a lot of it going around, but the Bears brought a couple people in for workouts this week. They had two players come in to try to get them going. I think it was Tom Pelissero who originally put it out, but it was Kyle Salter and Jake Ruddock. Both, Salter's been around a couple different places: Detroit, Arizona, Minnesota, Denver. He's been at a tryout before with the Bears, and then either way, it's nothing It's nothing that's gonna break the bank. I personally would rather see them go and pull Anthony Gordon off the free agent list and see what he's got. Pick a Cole McDonald up. I don't know. Go with one of the players that Chicago the fan base kind of believed in, and bring one of them in for a tryout and get hopes up a little bit again.
That brings you right back, Bobby, to that point of what we talked about all offseason on this network was bringing in a developmental quarterback, which we've talked about for years. I mean, even outside of doing these shows and being a part of the Barroom Network, if you're a Bears fan, you always are hoping they draft a quarterback to find that guy, like every other fucking team in the NFL does, but yet for some reason in Chicago they can't figure it out. And it just brings you back to that. And again, it's another fault of the front office. These guys, the Trubisky thing, it's done, it's over, whatever. You move on. But you go back and look a little further at the picks that have been made. This organization just doesn't draft quarterbacks well at all. They don't sign the right free agent quarterbacks. It's a history. It's over 101 years of history now.
Yeah. I mean, the most important position on the field, and you know that your backup, your number two, who was your number one at the beginning of the year, is injured for a whole week now, and you don't even get somebody on your practice squad. Like you don't even have anybody else in there. And granted, they probably wouldn't have been able to play this week because the whole COVID protocol crap, whatever. I get it. But you still didn't make a move for anything.
Yeah. I was shocked that they did the same thing with offensive line. You got on a right tackle, Massey goes down with a knee injury, Spriggs gets COVID, and they just sat on their hands.
Yeah.
We'll just go with what we got.
Man, Mustafa's hurt.
I mean, this is the same coaching staff that didn't go out and try to circle the wagons for Quentin Spain. So I nothing at this point is shocking to me. You don't bring talent in. I don't know if they feel like maybe they built a great roster that can just win games, which clearly isn't happening, or they're just really that fucking inept at their job, because that's what it's looking like. You should have had the entire Puerto Rican Day Parade down at Quentin Spain's house trying to get him to come to Chicago to play.
Hey, the Bengals got him, so it's not like just
He
wanted
wasn't
to
going to a team
win.
that
He
wanted
just
to win.
wanted to go somewhere that wanted him.
The Bengals got him, and then they beat the Titans.
Yeah, yeah.
Huh. Funny how that works. Solidify your
saying.
line and run the ball. And you can win games, apparently.
I
Did
mean,
he
we don't have
actually
Joe
play
Burrow
last
on
week,
our
though?
roster. Yeah,
Yeah.
he did. He was playing.
No, I saw the move that he was added to the practice squad, but I didn't see that he actually was in the lineup.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
we
played.
did our
He was on the
show
field.
late, so I only got to catch the second half. But he was out there. I saw his name out
Yeah.
there. I was like, well, they
Wow.
just keep staying out there.
Yeah, I don't
It'd be
know,
nice
man.
to have Joe Burrow though.
I mean,
It
you
would.
got Massey, Daniels, Whitehair, Spriggs, Mustipher, all injured.
Jeez.
You know, you got Cush came in for a tryout or whatever you want to call it. I haven't really heard much after that. I don't know if maybe I missed something.
Actually,
but-
he's coming in this week. I don't think he's actually come in yet. Yeah.
Well, that makes sense because last week we seen a team that all this COVID thing popped off and we didn't have practices. People were sent home. They had Zoom meetings. Nothing really got done. So maybe, I mean, even if he was scheduled for last week, he probably wouldn't have been able to come in.
Right.
You know, so now we're short offensive linemen. We're short a quarterback. And we're looking at a team that is already struggling on offense. It's not like we can even blame all these injuries on the reason why the offense is struggling. They were struggling when they were 100%.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now, I mean, granted, I know we said it, you know, in previous shows and that, like, maybe this is what had to happen. Maybe we need a drastic change. And I don't think these changes would have been made without this COVID stuff happening.
Oh, hell no. Yeah, I totally agree with you.
So who knows, man? Darren Chambers asked, was Lamar Miller a good pickup or no? Can we even say? All he is right now is a number.
He doesn't play.
Yeah, he's just a number on the roster, man.
Guys, the thing with Lamar Miller, though, he's coming off an injury. He's coming off an ACL injury. I think they brought him in to allow him to come in, work, get himself back, and if he was able to go at some point in the season, I think then maybe you would see him. That's honestly what I think it is. I don't think he's fully healthy yet.
Probably not. But it also brings us back to the point on the front office being inept that they drive.
Yeah.
Denver has 3 fucking running backs. I can't remember if Gordon is hurt or not, or it's either him or Lindsey or whatever the case is. But you got Royce Freeman sitting on their roster as the third back.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you offer a 7th or a 6th for Royce Freeman? Get him in. Get somebody in.
Yeah, I think
Cordell Patterson isn't a fucking running back, man.
Yeah, I think a lot of
He's
it
not.
is the relationship, is the personal relationships that the Bears staff and that have with Miller, with the running backs coach and Laser and all them.
Being from Houston.
Yeah, have had a previous relationship with this guy, and they believe in him. And who knows? I mean, they keep him on there, and maybe he does get better. But the problem is when Tariq got hurt, we seen moves quick, right? You seen boom, Miller picked up this guy, whatever, brought in. We have Pierce, we have CP, which a lot of people don't like. You have Montgomery, you have Null, you have at least a stable of, hey, okay, maybe we don't have the guy, but we have these guys and we can plan to them. We didn't see that with the offensive line. We didn't see that with the quarterback. And we have, and I know you said like it's expected, right? Or that it's not, I forget what you said exactly, KB, but like that you're not surprised. But it's still like, unacceptable. How do you you have an injury prone quarterback and your backup is fucking Tyler Bray? We've said this forever. And the belief in Tyler Bray is just, I don't know. It's crazy, man. How you don't at least have people in the stable, like put guys on the practice squad. Tampa Bay's got Josh Rosen on their practice squad. A number, I think, 10 pick overall is on their practice squad right now. He's free. You could take him. He's not protected. If you really wanted to make a move, you could take him. He is not protected. Granted, do I want Josh Rosen? I don't know. I just want somebody. I want somebody
when your development or
greater
quarterback
than
is
sign in
older
front
than
of Tyler Bray.
Your developmental quarterback is older than your starters. You've got an issue.
Yeah.
I say, boy, they out here treating Tyler Bray like he's Cinderella. I don't know what's going on. I didn't know he was the belle of the ball. They do everything they can to protect this dude, bro. Like,
I know.
What does he give to you? What does he provide to this offense?
He's got something on somebody.
Hey, he's the stripper in the locker room on games that they lose or something. He has to be doing something.
Dude, we said last week
know.
the most protection a Bears quarterback has had all year is Tyler Bray on the practice squad.
Facts.
I mean, it's horrible, but that's the most protection a quarterback has received all year on this offense, and it's by the front office to Tyler Bray. And that's it. You know, I mean, dude, I don't know. I don't see hopefully we're wrong. Right? Hopefully. Who knows? We always want to say that. Well, hopefully this works. Hopefully that works. Because you get the wishful thinking part. But if it does work, it's going to be a spur of the moment. It's going to work for the end of a game or a quarter. It's not longevity. This kid isn't going to freaking come off of the bench or off of the practice squad and take this team on a playoff run. So I don't know why moves haven't been made. It's baffling, and it also pisses you off that this is where you currently sit and what you're going into, man. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you brought up the COVID thing, and I guess my small mind, I hadn't thought about that. Like, if nobody's there, how are you going to call somebody in to have a workout if everybody's at home doing Zoom conferences and stuff?
Well, that too, and that person that you bring in has to pass a COVID test as well. So you bring them in, you give them the test, and then they're waiting. They've got to wait, and the team has to wait before they can even, get that guy in. It's obviously with all this, it's different. It's tougher for teams to add somebody right away. I think that's why they expanded the practice squad rosters. But the fact of the matter is, guys, until things in the front office change, if we do this for the next 20 years, we could still be talking about the same shit.
Same old song.
Yeah.
Just repetitive, man. And then I know we did say the COVID thing, that maybe that's why they didn't bring O-line in. But now that I think about it, man, they brought 2 quarterbacks in for a workout. So who worked them out?
Yeah, it's a good question.
I don't know, man. I honestly, it's baffling. It's just confusing on how this team thinks that they don't have to make a move, or maybe they're just so hidden and don't release stuff out. I don't know, man. But
not to cut you off, Bobby, but KB's got to bounce. So KB, man, appreciate you jumping on, bro.
All right, fellas, man. Y'all take it easy, man. Got to go circle the wagons to save the world.
Right.
You feel me?
That's right.
Yeah. Get your training on.
All right, y'all.
Those Sunday morning grease fires, man. You got to go get them things. You know what I'm saying?
All right, fellas, man.
All right,
Love y'all, man.
Love you too, man.
Bye.
We'll see you. I mean, with this whole thing, dude, right? With Trubisky's injury, with everybody saying, I mean, just 2-3 weeks ago, everybody was saying, put him on the trade block. Get him out of it. Get him up to a team. And we were all saying, no, just keep him, whatever. Now that's not even an option anymore, I don't think. I mean, you got a dude he's got the right shoulder, right? Obviously, he can't be traded anymore because we're past the trade deadline. He's got the shoulder injury. So now we're sitting with a busted quarterback as our backup who's in a contract year. We're sitting with a quarterback that we brought in and traded a pick for, right? And gave him this contract, whatever, who can opt out if he meets certain parameters. And we're sitting with Tyler Bray. How this team hasn't done anything to address any of that and get somebody that's actually like, okay, well, we got him for the next couple of years and he'll be there. I don't know, man. It's just
look how quickly the aspect can change. Because after 2018, we're going to Bears 100, coming off a 12-4 season. Yes, the fucking double doink happened, but I mean, And next thing you know, it's the wheels on the bus became square wheels on the bus, and
don't go
you're
round and round.
bouncing every time. You know what I mean? And it stems from the front office and the coaching staff, and they haven't done it. And I mean, think about how the front office staff was getting all the kudos. Pace is the GM of the year, Nagy's the coach of the year. You had other organizations trying to come and pry scouts from our organization.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, nobody's even talking about anybody here except for the lack of what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's like, because it's unsure, man. Nothing's proven. There isn't a proven anything on this team right now. I mean, the defense is the defense proven? Maybe. I mean, they're good. They're proven on third down efficiency, but they're also proven to play soft and play off. And when they have a little bit of a lead,
is Robert getting up there in age?
Yeah. Has Robert Quinn proved anything since he's come here? I don't know, man.
He can get pressure.
Yeah.
I mean, he's up in tops of the league and getting pressure on a quarterback. Can he fucking actually hit him and get a sack?
Yeah.
I mean pressures are great on the stat sheet, but what the fuck?
Yeah, I get it. And I know that we're not all clamoring for sacks, and we don't need sacks to show a player's worth on defense. But then again, to see a couple wouldn't be too bad. I
think he's played the run game very well. I don't mean to, but
he's still an upgrade over Floyd.
Well, I don't know. The way Leonard Floyd played against us, it doesn't look like it.
Well, we don't have the best O-line in the league.
I mean, he has to be an upgrade over Floyd because you're paying the dude fucking 12 times more.
Yeah.
But all in all, he's losing one-on-ones. And we brought him in to win his one-on-ones because Mac was going to be double-tripled. Keem was going to be double-tripled. Whatever. Damn, we brought this guy in to win his one-on-ones, and he's not. And now this week, I'm almost 100% positive, unless something changed, we're without Roy Robb. Roy Robb's out this week.
Yep, John Jenkins is out.
Jenkins is out. Travis Gibson hasn't shown us anything since week 2.
Hasn't even been on the active roster except for one other time, I think.
Yeah,
aside from week 2.
I don't know why. I mean, it's just bad, man. And Clover's just put in the chat. Thank you for saying the truth. This D is good, but they're not elite. 100%, they're not elite, man. They're not an elite defense. The problem is this defense, in my opinion, right? The problem is this defense can be elite, but the offense doesn't do them any favors.
No.
The offense is not putting up points on the board. And all of us are thinking that this defense has to produce points to win, to be elite. That's bullshit. Telling your defense that they have to score points is bullshit, and it's a cop out because your offense sucks. Your defense should be shutting down teams and then giving you some bonus points here and there. They shouldn't have to score points for you to win. That's the offense's fucking job. But yet we're the defense, this, that. I get it. I don't think that they're elite. I think they can be elite, but they don't have any help from the damn offense in order to reach that status. Nope. I mean, look at some of the offenses that they have shut down. They're a great defense.
Dude, they shut down Brady and the Bucks.
Yeah.
Held them to their 11 points below their season average, and look what the Bucks did the following week to the Packers. They put up 38 on them. This defense does its part. They have no help, and
they held the Colts to field goals the whole game.
101 years of history.
Boys.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel, and for you in the chat, let us know, do you feel that Pagano changes this defense and makes them play a cushion, prevent-ish thing because he knows that he cannot pin the ears back and possibly give up a long ball, broken coverage touchdown because the offense can't produce?
It's the same thing with you see these people clamoring to get Fangio back. It's the same shit.
We were talking about the corners playing off with him.
They did the same thing. They get a lead and they sit. Fangio did it too. He sits back in a soft defense, allows a team to march right down the field and score quick points.
Yeah.
You see other teams do it too.
But if you had a high-powered offense, would your defense be more reckless?
Absolutely. Would they take that chance?
Right. So
100%.
So, maybe all this does come back to the offense. Maybe if you had an offense that could score, you'd be like, fuck it, we're going to march downfield and score again anyway. Send the house. Like, let's go. But, like, turn it up now. And
that's
actually
how the Buccaneers beat the Packers. They were like, they brought those middle linebackers all day long in Aaron Rodgers' face. And we just never see Roquan or Trevathan blitzing, it seems like, to me.
I mean, I think if you actually, and granted, I know that's what every team in the NFL probably wants, right? They want a high-powered offense and a defense that they could just pin the ears back on and let them go. Yeah. I think we're a lot closer than other teams are with this, but we're also our offense just isn't. It's not there, and it's not going to be there.
Yeah, and that's why I don't think we're that close. I think the defense is close to being elite. They're never going to get there because this offense isn't going to help them. And that's the thing I think today will show guys is the fact that this, and we'll get into it a little bit, but this Titans defense is not good.
No.
And why don't we just go ahead and get into the Titans game, man?
Well, yeah, we can
give us a little history lesson there, Bad.
So a little history between these two teams. So this kind of shocked me when I was doing my research yesterday. These two teams have only played each other 12 times. But
does that count the Oilers?
It does not. So, and that's why it caught me off guard, was because they didn't talk about the prior to Tennessee. So they've played 12 times since the Titans have become the Tennessee Titans, and they've split 6-6. The last time these two teams played was 11-27-16, and the Titans came away at Soldier Field with a 27-21 victory. So it's been a little bit since these two teams have played. Now, I have to touch on this just because this was probably one of my favorite Bears games in somewhat recent memory. If you think back to the time the Bears played the Titans in Tennessee prior to 2016, Charles Tillman and Brian Urlacher and that defense fucking balled out. Tillman with four or five. Urlacher recovered one. Then Urlacher had a pick six that he returned for a touchdown. I mean, how he got to the fucking end zone, I have no idea, because I thought he was going to fucking collapse at about the 20. And then he had to leap over a lineman. I thought, oh, shit, he just blew out a knee. But to me, that game for some reason just stands out to me. I mean, they put up 51 points. And, guys, you know what we've talked about basically all morning is how there wasn't much from the offense. Well, actually, the offense kind of held their own that game, because Jay Cutler to Brandon Marshall connection had 3 touchdowns on the day too. So, kind of an anomaly in this Bears organization on that day. But, that's the badge history lesson for the day.
Man, if only this Bears touchdown could throw, or this Bears offense could throw 3 touchdowns. I don't know, man. Yeah. I mean, this is what we got. We got a Titans team that was 5-0, right? They dropped their last 2. Dropped one to the Steelers. Dropped one to the Steelers, who are still undefeated, but then they came out and lost to the Bengals last week, who are hit or miss. This Titans defense is bad. The offense is good. The defense is bad. They're like the exact opposite of us. Derrick Henry's leading the league in rushing. Ryan Tannehill got 17 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. He doesn't really make many mistakes, and today, I mean, I think that's something that obviously we're going to have to turn up and take advantage of. Can Derrick Henry keep going with his rushing? I mean, this dude's a beast. He's literally like a little snowplow coming through, man, and just runs people over and gets after it. Well, I'm just saying, like, coming through that hole, he's a snowplow, man. He just runs people over, and he does what we've talked about in the past of, like, just bruise them up, bruise them up, bruise them up, bruise them up, and then boom, like later in the game, just explodes.
He's a freak of nature, man. Nobody that big should be able to move that fast. And just when you think, okay, we've got to shut down Derrick Henry, then they go over the top with AJ Green and what's his name on the other side, or AJ Brown and
I was going to say what?
Yeah.
I got him mixed up there.
Jesus. Corey Davis. Corey Davis is the other one.
The other dude I was
and they actually use Jonnu Smith a lot too. So it's I mean, you have a guy like Derrick Henry, a back like Derrick Henry. You want the ball in his hands as much as you can, right? Now, obviously, he can't carry the ball every play, but your play action pass game with him is something that should be very good. Well, the fucking Titans are very good at it. And not to get off Derrick Henry, because I'm not going to get off Derrick Henry right now, and that sounded bad. I don't ever want to get off Derrick Henry, just to be clear. But he is a guy who the Bears struggle tackling. If they stack somebody up, they tackle well. But in space, they struggle tackling in space. And this is a guy where if you don't take him out and hit him low and go for – he's going to fucking run you right over. And we've seen him do it, AC. I mean, you know that run against was it the Raiders or Chargers? I can't remember who. And he's got the best –
he's got the best stiff arm in the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he did it against the Bills and he did it against the Ravens last year, the iconic stiff arms where he just spins dudes totally around. And I saw a meme after he did it against the Bills. It was like, man, Derrick Henry just hates the number 29.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God. Yeah.
Earl Thomas, and then I don't remember the Bills player he did it to, but
yeah.
It
was Josh Norman was the player he did it to in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Josh Norman. I mean,
I'm rocking my Danny Trevathan today because he needs to have a big game.
I hope he does.
Salute to service. Salute to service.
Yep,
Derrick Henry, we know he's going to ball out. Tannehill, I mean, you look at what has transpired with the Saints last week in the play action pass game. I don't feel we handle play action very well. And that's more so on at the linebacker level. The middle of the field in our defense off play action is wide fucking open every time. And I yesterday sat down and watched the Cincinnati-Tennessee game. And Tannehill likes to look to the middle of the field. Well, if our defense has been, that open in the middle of the field to this point, that has me nervous because this offense is formidable. I want to say Corey Davis or AJ Brown, I thought was hurt. I thought I saw earlier, but then I saw something that maybe made me not think. Again, Tannehill is a guy who he'll throw picks. I mean, he hasn't this year, but if he gets hit, which we got to start hitting quarterbacks, guys. I mean, there's a lot of money invested in that defensive line. We got to start hitting the quarterback. Pressures are great, but you got to hit the whether it's a sack or not, just hit him. And I think at times we're doing that. I know Akeem's in there a ton. I think Roy Robb a few weeks ago had a couple where he hit the quarterback. Khalil gets to him, but it's got to be consistent. And that's just not something this team is. And
it's gonna be
I
tough
know I
this
keep
week.
saying it,
Titans
but
got a great O-line.
Yeah, and my gosh.
Tannehill's really turned the corner since the Miami days, dude.
Oh, totally, dude.
He came in with a new quarterback coach last year. The dude threw 22 touchdowns and 6 picks. This year he's 17-3. You know what I'm saying? Like this dude, I am not the bearded bear. There we go. So I know I haven't shaved. I'm just saying, but this This dude is, I don't know if it's a quarterback's coach that he's got in Tennessee or mechanics change or whatever.
Well, he got away from Adam Gase. He got away from Adam
Yeah.
Gase. And then he looks all right.
Yeah, from Adam Gase. This dude has definitely turned the corner. And, I mean, he doesn't really force a lot of bad throws. So in order to bank on your defense in this game, I think, we just need to bank on our defense stopping Henry. And I know Badge is getting off on Derrick Henry, but we got to bank on him stopping Henry more than we can bank on these picks.
You got to make Tannehill beat you. There's no other way to beat this team other than make Tannehill beat you.
Yeah. I mean, our offense is definitely going to have to step up and do something. It's another week where we're against a struggling defense, and yet we make them, look good. This Titans defense that we're going up against, Jadeveon Clowney is listed as probable or game time, I think, right now, but most likely he's going to be out with the meniscus. It's something that our team needs. We're 30th in rushing in the league.
Well, we looked pretty good against the Saints. We just didn't stick with it.
Yeah, and we're still 30th.
They were the fourth. Well, they were the fourth best rushing defense in the league too.
Yeah. I don't get how we're not. I mean, the fact that there's somebody behind us and rushing kind of shocks me. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, well, it's got it. What is it? The Jets.
Were the bottom of the barrel.
Well, so do you think, like with Trubisky, right? Trubisky's injured; he's not today. With Tyler Bray being the only backup we have, do we see more rushes today because of Clowney being out and because we don't want to put our quarterback on an island back there with a struggling offensive line?
Well,
I think the start of the game will show you that right away. I'm going to say it. I might regret it later, but it's Matt Nagy. He likes to throw the football.
Yeah,
I just don't see it changing unless we have a situation like Denver last season where the week before we only had 7 rushes and the next week he came out and forcefully ran the football.
Yeah.
Now,
I didn't see the entire game against Cincinnati last week for the Titans, but I caught the second half, and from what I was seeing, they were picking on Jonathan Joseph a lot with short little slant routes and out routes and stuff like that. So
quick game, what's that?
Right. Well, we started out with it last week. I mean, we hit Miller right out of the gate with a little slant, and it looked. Yeah. I was like, okay, let's do this. I'd like to see them run the ball more, but the strength, if there is a strength of this Titans defense, to me is on the line, and I like Harold Landry a lot. I mean, he hasn't done a ton this year, but I really liked him coming out. And I think he's an excellent player, and they're getting older in their secondary. So if there's a place to exploit this Titans defense, I feel like it's on the outside their corners and safe. Well, they got Biard still, who's a very good safety ball hawk, but I wouldn't throw in his way.
Yeah. I mean, we do. We gotta. I don't know, man. We say what we gotta do, and it's really like it's. It's us wishful
talking
thinking.
To this wall back here.
Yeah. And who really knows what's gonna come out of it? I think we really see today if this offense stays in collapse mode or stays in not being able to produce yardage or produce points. I think we literally see this thing like emotions and shit start to erupt towards the end of the game. I think we have a team that's on the ropes. We've lost our last 2. They've lost their last 2. Yeah. It's a team that's on the ropes, and whichever way Nagy, and I'm not talking about Titans, I'm talking about us. Whichever way Nagy takes this thing, man. I mean, look, this week we got Derrick Henry, like we've been saying, number 1 rusher in the league. Next week we got Dalvin Cook, the number 2 rusher in the league.
That doesn't, you know what, though? For some reason.
We're usually good against Dalvin Cook, though.
Yeah, he doesn't, for some reason, Dalvin Cook doesn't scare me. I don't know why. I know in the past we've done a really nice job of shutting him down, and Kirk Cousins is still the quarterback there. So
Yeah.
I
And they're
mean,
playing in prime
the three
time,
of
so
us
there's
could
that.
go out and beat the Vikings most likely.
Hit
But-
prime time?
Yeah, absolutely. I just, I don't know, man. I'm trying not to get frustrated with this team, but each week it gets harder and harder.
Harder to watch.
Yeah. It's like, because you see the same stuff week over week. There's no adjustments. The execution sometimes is worse. It's the same players on the field that
It's the same plays.
It's just, I mean, it's everything.
We opened up the second half last week with the same exact plays that we opened up the first half. I mean, that's your offensive genius. That's your guru. Like
They'll
this
never
guy
see it coming.
this guy's an offensive mastermind. And you know what? We couldn't really plan for the second half. So let's just do the same shit we did in the first half since we were up 13-3. Let's try to do that again. It was just like, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Rich Smiley says we hurt ourselves more than any other team. Yeah, we're our own worst enemy. And honestly, a lot of it isn't like penalties and shit though, because we've gone 3 and out, 4 and out.
Yeah.
We've turned the ball over and just thrown up prayers. And I mean, granted, looking at the way that Nick's thrown off his back foot and getting picked now, that Atlanta game, we probably got pretty lucky with a couple of those.
Oh, totally. Oh, the one to Jimmy Graham through 3
went right
defenders.
over 3 guys.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm going to put this comment up, right? I'm going to put this comment up.
Send it.
And I want you to think back to 2018.
Oh,
and I'll see if you can guess the play.
You and Matt Nagy started doing things good. He get too pretty. Oh, you're talking about Santa Slay?
Oh, no. I'm talking about the division clinching game against the Packers.
I was there.
You were there. We're up by a score, right? And Tariq Cohen is in the quarterback position.
Oh, yeah.
Takes the snap and goes to give it to Jordan Howard, and they fucking fumble.
Yeah, I know.
If that's not a microcosm of the last 3 years.
Yeah. Last week we get that penalty on Jimmy Graham, or against Jimmy Graham. We get the ball at the 1 yard line, and then they come out in shotgun formation. I was like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" We have 1,700 tight ends on this roster. You can't line up in goal line situation and just punch it in.
Oh, dude!
And then it got knocked back to the 4 or 5, and then they wanted to get in goal line. I was like,
and then they decided to throw, and thank God that defender was a step back from Mooney, or that would have gone the other way.
I don't know, man. I mean, granted, we all hope for something big to happen and for this offense to turn the corner and do something, but I don't really have a lot of confidence that it will.
Our boy A-Rob should have a good game today if he has time. If Foles has time, which is a big if, because like I said, me and Badge might be getting calls for O-line this week. A-Rob, I think he'll have a good game today.
AC, I'm giving you that nod, bro. I'm retired.
I'm only 5'8". I don't know if they're calling me, bro.
You got to be better than Coward.
I can fucking fall down in front of somebody pretty good, I bet.
Well, we ain't got much better than that, bro.
Exactly.
We'll see what happens this week. Our starting line this week is Leno at left tackle, Hambright at left guard, Bars is starting at center, something that he hasn't done. Affetti at right guard, and then you got Coward shifting to the other side and now playing right tackle. Who knows? We brought the pig up. Chevy Simmons is up. Dieter Iceland is up.
Yeah.
We got.
And then so is Tator. I forget. I don't know how to pronounce his
Torrio
name.
or Torrio. He's also. So I was kind of surprised at that move to bring him up, even though I think it was like a month or so ago. But that dude tested positive for COVID also.
Right. Right.
And then they bring him around. So I don't think it could get any worse. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I guess it always
We're
could
at
get
the
worse,
thresholds of hell, Ellen. How could
Yeah.
it get any worse?
yeah. But I'm just saying, man, like, give these dudes a shot, I guess. I mean, you don't really have another choice, but see what
Well, like
happens.
I told you
See what
guys,
get
I'm
out of it.
happy to see Bars finally, but throwing him right at center and he's never done it before.
I'm happy to see him too, man. But yeah, putting him there, I mean, there wasn't, you know,
Did he
there
ever
wasn't
play any center at Notre Dame?
like I'm not that I know of. I mean,
Oh, hello.
Bobby, we're
Hello,
doing
guy.
a show here.
My bad. I was currently reading about saving balls, and that's something Manscaped does, and we can hope this week that our boy Alex Bars comes in and he saves balls as the new center, and he takes care of his balls and gets them back to Foles. You can go ahead and check out Manscaped. Use code BARROOM20 and the Lawnmower 3.0. Go ahead and hook it. My wife's looking at me right now with a little smile on her face because she knows my balls are nice and clean and shiny. And that's probably not why she was looking at me, but either way, you guys don't know if I have pants on, so fuck you. Either way, go to manscaped.com, use code BARROOM20, get 20% off your total order and free shipping. Hook up yourself, just buy everybody Christmas presents with Manscaped.
Yeah,
Fall's
man.
coming. Fall, the leaves fall off the tree, the hair falls off the balls. Let's go. Get at them, get everything going, make autumn a fun time of the year, and check out manscaped.com with code BARROOM20. All right, boys, back to it. Where you going, lady? Oh, she got all hot and bothered. Now she has to leave. See how that works? Get yourself a Lawnmower 3.0, and your wife will also get hot and bothered. Back to you, Badge.
Dude, it would have been way better if she had like stood up from like behind camera.
Maybe next week. Well,
that was pretty good though.
Dude, we're gonna put together.
I gotta give Manscaped rave reviews. They just rave reviews in my house from Manscaped.
What? I also want to take a minute to shout out my wife, Mrs. Carrie Phelan. She unfortunately has work today, and she works on base at it's called the Exchange, or the Exchange. It's kind of like a Walmart on base, right? For those of you who don't know, but this woman goes over to electronics when she has to work on every Sunday, and connects her phone to the big screen and to my DirecTV NFL ticket account, and plays every Bears game in the Exchange, and kind of dodges out of work and make sure that she works close enough to the screen to pay attention to what's going on. I mean, talk about a diehard there. You know what I mean?
That's a winner.
This woman is not working, illegally tapping into other TVs, probably leaving my DirecTV password on half of them that people buy, but she's still getting to watch the game. Good job, babe. Bear down. All right, so I don't know, man. I mean, we're so off track now, and I'm sorry I took it.
I don't even know.
That's okay. That's great. Hey, now we can look forward to what our offense has in an opportunity today.
Way to bring us back in. Way to bring it in.
Yeah, I'm gonna rein us back in. We're done with the balls. This offense, guys, made big plays last week. Two on the same drive. And that's something we really haven't seen from this team all season. The opportunities are there. They've got to hit on these now at this point. I saw somebody earlier, I apologize, I don't remember who, say Cole Kmet needs to be more involved. Cole Kmet had one catch last week, and thank God his forward progress got stopped and moved backwards, or the fucking game would have been over right there. You have to get he should not be getting his first catch in the fourth fucking quarter with, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes. Like,
and it was like a 2-yard pass.
Yeah, and it's a freaking little out route, or not even, I just don't understand, and then the questions to Nagy and his presser, hey, what about, Cole Kmet? Yeah, we got to get him more involved. Yeah, we got to get him more involved. He's a broken record about the kid.
Yeah.
Is there things he's not doing to be on the field more, Coach? Because I not for nothing, all the beat reporters do a great job. They really do. But they're not asking questions about these guys. Hey, Coach, why be direct? Why is this guy not on the field and involved in your offense more? Why? Not, hey, Coach, what's with the usage of Cole Kmet? Are we going to start to see him more? No, ask the direct question. That's what you guys need to do. I do. I love you all. I think you do a great job. But be direct with this guy. If he's going to pussyfoot around, then he pussyfoots around. But
I feel like even if they ask direct, he like, as soon as they ask the question, he's like, that's a great question. And then he kind of repeats the question. And then he kind of just dances around it. Like when they asked why Cole Kmet wasn't on the field more earlier in the season, he was like, yeah, we got to get him on the field more. Like he's not the guy making that call. So I don't even understand. It's like he's an offensive coordinator. He's not a head coach.
He is a we've said that. We've said it. He's a glorified offensive coordinator. The head coach is supposed to have all aspects of their team under their control. Yeah. And you hear it from him when he's posed questions about the defense. He kind of stammers and stutters.
Yeah.
I think
the defense, let Chuck handle that,
Right.
Okay, I feel like this is where his number one problem is. Where Nagy's number one problem is he feels that he has to get people involved in the offense. Why? How about you just take advantage of whatever the weakness is? I really do I want to see Kmet do well? Of course I do. But if we're playing a team that, doesn't give up a lot of yards to tight ends or this and that, then don't fucking go to Kmet. If they're giving up more,
Belichick do that. Good coaches do that. They say, okay, this team struggles against the run. We're going to run the ball. This team struggles covering the tight end. Guess who's getting the ball? This team struggles, covering it, wide receiver 2. You know what I'm saying? So guess Belichick did that for years. He will exploit what you do worst and then take advantage.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Belichick, though, that's a far reach for somebody to.
But I'm saying the great coaches do it. Tomlin in Pittsburgh, he does it. Just look at any head coach.
Like personally, I really don't care who's involved. Take advantage of their weakness and move the ball downfield. If you turn around and win a game 42-3, nobody's gonna say how come Cole Kmet wasn't involved more. Nobody's gonna give a shit. It's going to be like, oh, this team blew up and then this happened, that happened, or Anthony Miller did this or whatever. Nobody's going to care who's involved because you're putting these points up. When you're losing games, when you're not moving the ball downfield, then people start asking, why isn't this guy involved? Why isn't that one? How come this guy isn't getting whatever, right? Or you have to kind of come back with the defensive of, oh, I'm going to try to get this guy more involved. Who gives a shit who's involved? Put up the damn points. Like, I really don't care either way. I think Kmet's going to be a star. I actually thought that Jimmy Graham got injured last week. You seen the Saints cutting that dude. Like when they were tackling him, I get it. When they were tackling, they were like that one. I thought he had basically got a hip pointer. They put a helmet.
Looked like Bounty Gate out there, didn't it?
Yeah, they put a helmet straight to his hip and he dropped, man. And he got up and he was kind of a little slow and like ginger. And then he started to jog. And then he stopped and walked and then, started to jog again. And I was like, geez, I thought he was hurt. And honestly, like, do I want to see tight end involvement? Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's what we've asked for the last couple of years. But I don't care who the tight end is, like Graham or Kmet. Give it to one of them. I'm good with it. But I think Nagy's number one problem is he feels he has to get certain people involved and it takes away from, instead of what can I do on 3rd and 5, it's what could I do for Cole to get him a ball? Like
Right,
I
yeah.
don't give a shit. Just get the ball downfield. And I think that's one of the main issues with him. And this whole CP experiment, man. Like
He doesn't know how. I don't think he knows how to scheme his player. He doesn't know how to get the best or play his players to their best skill
mismatches.
set. Yeah. He just doesn't. You know, I'm not sure why that is. I don't know. It's just after 3 years, it's like, Jesus Christ, are we still fucking talking about this guy like this?
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, even in a winning season, I mean, we were 12-4, and there were things that they were doing offensively that all of us just sat here just like, what the why are we doing? Like,
Right.
you know, and I don't know, maybe the offensive guru thing went to his head and he can't, you know, now that he's pictured as that guy, he can't let it go.
Yeah. I mean,
I think he needs to let go of play calling. Is what I think.
If everything goes to shit for Nagy in Chicago, right? Does he even get a chance anywhere else as a head coach?
I don't think so.
I think he would be off. Well, maybe in college. I mean, Trestman even got a shot in college.
Yeah, maybe in college. But I'm saying, like, what does he have to lose besides his pride by letting Laser call plays? What does he have to lose to plan a week and be like, you know what, Bill? Third quarter, man, you got it. I'm struggling hard in third quarter. I'm going to give you the third quarter. If things are going great, go ahead and take the fourth. If not, I'm going to probably hop back in and take the fourth.
Well, we saw too last preseason. He did that. You know, when I was in New York for the Giants-Bears game, he allowed Ragone and I forget who the other person was to take the third and fourth quarter, or maybe they did the whole game and one did the half, one did the other half. I don't remember, but he allowed them to call plays.
Helfrich.
Yeah, that's right. So I don't get it either. I mean, in all honesty, will it make that big of a difference? I mean, we don't execute very well most of the time. And even if a receiver or running back executes well, a tight end, the problems with the pass protection are, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, I mean, they can switch it. If it works, awesome. If it doesn't, well, what does it hurt? We're no better off than we were.
I mean, are we? I mean, I get it. Our offense is struggling, right? And there's all these problems. We're still 5-2, right? We were 3-0 when we pull our starting quarterback to put us, you know, to give us another game. Yep. Do we react and freak out way too fast about shit, or is being 5-2 and, you know, continuing on and, you know, hopefully if we get to 6-2 today, you're almost locked for a playoff spot. Is this just overreaction by us, or is it, you know, 100% warranted in that? Yeah, I get you're winning games, but you're not, you know, like was asked to Foles, you know, you're not winning pretty. Are you worried about it?
I mean, I think even if we do get to 6-2, how did we win? That's what's going to tell me. Did we win by our offense coming out and putting up 30 points? Okay, maybe we've figured it out. Maybe the offense, you know, because they couldn't be on the field this week due to COVID, maybe these virtual meetings, something clicked. Now, if it's again another close game and it's the defense having to bail us out, we're
5-3 right now. So, like, if you found a way to erase one of those losses, then let me know how that happened, Bobby.
Oh yeah, you're probably right. Yo, breaking news. Bears from Adam Hogue, another reserve COVID-19 list addition for the Bears. Offensive line, Chevy Simmons. So the pig is out today. He tested positive. A confirmed positive test for Simmons, who is in Nashville and quarantining away from the team. At this point, there are no other high-risk close contacts. So he tested positive this morning. This broke 11 minutes ago from Adam Hogue. And I mean, there goes some more depth, boys. I mean,
Yeah.
we were hoping to have a little more depth behind him, and we don't. And now, I don't know. I mean, it's just another one down. If we lose an offensive lineman today in this game, another one somehow, we're gonna be straight crippled and going with tight end sets and whatever, trying to make this thing work.
This is what happens when you don't work on your O-line. When we draft offensive linemen in the 7th round or bring in undrafted free agents, you never see them try to fix it earlier in the draft. We just never see it. The last high pick offensive lineman I can remember was the guy out of Wisconsin that busted. Was there anyone more recent than that you guys can think of? And I can't even remember that guy's name.
Yeah, I can't either. I just want to point out this comment right here. I mean, this is a microcosm of the coaching staff. As you touched on earlier, what if these old linemen come out here and perform better than anybody all season? Now, could it be a strike of fate?
I mean,
it could be.
Honestly, granted, we all wish for it to happen, right? I mean,
yeah.
And everybody's been clamoring for Bars because, like we said last week and the week before, when Bars came in, the first play of the game, he got just run over. Yep. And got his maybe, welcome to the NFL type deal. Who knows, right?
Right.
But
right.
the rest of that game, he played great.
He held his own.
But he wasn't playing center. Now we're looking for a guy who's played one game to call offensive line adjustments from the center position. If he's calling them, I don't know who else would be.
I was just going to ask it. So you have Bars playing center and Hambright playing guard. Hambright has 0 NFL experiences to the left of Bars. Bars, first-time center, who the hell's making the calls on the O-line, or are there going to be any?
Could you have a Fetty or Leno call him? Because you got a Fetty at right guard. It's not the center of the line, but it's closer. I couldn't see Leno yelling all the way across the right tackle.
A Fetty would be a lot better than Leno because he's just closer to where the adjustment gets called. But maybe Foles does it. Who knows? I think Mustafa going down was probably one of the bigger injuries that we've had.
That's it, Adam. Gabe Karimi. That was the bust.
Yeah, that was the bust. I don't know, man. I don't know how things are going to go today and how bad this is literally going to look. I mean, it could just be a straight smoke show. Yeah. And we could get, and the doors could be blown off and we just get toasted against a lackluster defense and we make them look like they're freaking awesome. I don't know, man. Sorry, I'm kind of paying attention to this breaking news with this more info on the Bears. Go on reserve. Hold on a second. 2 Bears to go on the reserve COVID list. Chevy Simmons tested positive. He's in Nashville but quarantining, and Deion Bush. So we already knew Bush had tested positive.
Deion Bush,
yeah, we knew that already. And this is a retweet off of Adam Johns, but Kevin Fishbane, also from the Athletic, chimed in on it. So I don't know, man. We just see, all this is blowing up now. How he's been quarantined away from the team. I don't know when they traveled to Nashville or how that happened. How he hasn't been in contact.
I don't know. Maybe they just left him in his hotel room. But, I guess you got to get there somehow. So,
yeah, exactly.
That's a bus or plane.
Yeah. So, who knows, man? Maybe let's just hope that we see something freaking awesome. Let's hope we see an average offensive line today. And if we get anything close to average, whether it's below or above, I think it's a win for the offensive line because it's just too beat up right now to throw a fit and start calling dudes out like the first series or the first quarter of the game. You're calling out undrafted linemen and talking shit for what? I think there's going to be a lot of reaction to this offensive line today, a lot of unneeded reaction. Yeah. But I'm hoping, and that goes both ways. Even if they're playing well, I think the reaction is going to be blown up because you either look at it as we're going against a bad defense and this offensive line plays really well, right? Or we're going against a bad defense and this offensive line plays really bad. Either way, I don't think it's a true test. And I don't think we can say after this week, like, yeah, this is our new 5 moving forward and whatever, and be excited about it. I think we take it as a glimpse of luck and everything fell into place. And then we see what happens next week, man, against Minnesota.
Bobby, you're a Notre Dame fan, right?
Yes, sir.
Did Bars ever snap a football at Notre Dame?
No, Bars was a backup center at Notre Dame. I don't believe he actually took or actually had. I don't know, man. I don't think he's.
I mean, I'm worried about really us being in shotgun as much as we are, and he's never snapped a football before, or hasn't done it in years. I'm sure he did in high school, maybe in practice in Notre Dame. But we're always in shotgun formation, so that ball's got to be there. You know what I'm saying? And if it's not, we've seen it. We've seen how bad it can be.
I don't know. I'm kind of looking at it right now to see, but I honestly don't know.
Yeah. Well, someone just said it in the chat, and it'll be a big thing to see how well Juan Castillo is at coaching offensive line.
Bars has never played center in college or the pros. He was a backup center on Notre Dame. He was like the third one, I think. That's not listed here, but I think it was just just in case for injury purposes. But yeah, he's never played. He's never started a game or played an actual game at center.
Well, Cody Whitehair, that was the only offensive line position he didn't play at Kansas State, and he's done.
Rashad Coward never played offensive line at all. So what the fuck do we got to lose here? You know what I'm saying?
I reckon.
I reckon. I mean, shit. Who knows? What do you guys think? What do you guys think in the chat about this offensive line and what they're going to do today? Let me see the pessimists and the optimists. What do we got in there on the offensive line? Let's
master here.
Yeah, I agree, Kofi. I mean, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen, man? Hey, so let's move into score predictions, bold predictions. If you're in the chat, send us your score predictions, bold predictions. Let us know what you think.
Get them in the chat, but before we do that, I've got something I kind of want to talk about here. And I'm just going to put this image up on the screen for just a moment. So, oh my gosh, guys, the A-Rob signed footballs, the raffle will be coming up. Probably, I would assume this week. If not this week, definitely next week. And just for proof, just so you guys can see, I have one right here in my possession. The Badge of Honor, Allen Robinson, Within Reach, Barroom Network, autographed football from the man himself, Mr. Allen Robinson. So, guys, we're going to have a little contest, to get you an autographed Allen Robinson football. And we're excited about this. We hope you're excited about this. We know Allen and the Within Reach Foundation are excited about this as well. Obviously you guys know we had Allen on a few weeks back. We were able to talk to him off air, and they're really excited that they could do this, and we're really excited to bring it to you guys. So definitely going to want to keep your eyes and ears peeled to the Barroom Network, because you got to get your hands on one of these things.
Yeah, definitely, man. Got to get them flying off the shelf here soon. We're going to do, we're kind of still working out the layout for it, but it's going to be a limited amount of entries. And with the donation to the Allen Robinson Within Reach Foundation, you'll be entered into a raffle. We have 11 balls to give away. And from there, we're going to limit it though. We don't want to do the unlimited amount for everyone, because we want people to have a not a no kidding chance, but a better chance, I would say.
Yeah.
And to try to give it to you guys with a clean shot. Now we're going to set up a page that basically what we're working with is setting up a page that lets you donate straight to Allen Robinson and then enters you into the raffle that we set up. That way there's nothing more on us. We don't need to have, like, say, Kofi be like, well, I donated, my name's not here yet. You know what I mean? Something along those lines. We're just trying to keep it on the up and up so that no money comes to us. We don't want any of your donation money coming to us. We want it to go straight to the organization, and then you get entered. So all in all, that's just kind of behind the scenes of what we're setting up to make this work so that it's fair and run along everybody. But yeah, 11 balls to give away. Hop in. We'll get you guys signed up hopefully this week and start shipping out some of these balls to your houses. Speaking of balls, I'm just kidding. All right, so let's move into bold predictions, score predictions. Wait, let me see. Rock Davis, quick science, comebacks and screens.
I think he meant to say screens.
Yeah, quick screens, comebacks and screens, get the ball. Yeah, of course I mean, for sure. We've seen a couple screens try to get run, and we've seen them batted down by the defensive line because they're all up in the face. Bold predictions, score predictions. AC, we're going to start this one with you, man, because I'm not ready. I don't have my bold prediction or score prediction yet. So I'm going to pass this over to you while I prepare.
Well, thanks.
So go for it. Yeah, no problem, buddy.
Well, I kind of touched on it earlier, and I guess this is what I'll have to go with bold prediction. I don't know if it's happened yet this season. As I said, Allen Robinson, the way the Bengals were able to pick on Jonathan Joseph last week. This guy used to be really fast and was a top flight corner, and he's lost a step or two in his age. And I think Allen Robinson will be able to take advantage of that. And he will have, I don't know if he's had one yet this season, he will have a 100-yard game with a touchdown. However, I do not see our Chicago Bears coming out on top of this. I think the offensive line will be too much for us to overcome. And our defense will play really well, but not enough to get the W. I think the Titans win 13-10, and you get the Allen Robinson touchdown, and Cairo Santos knocks another one through the uprights.
Well, it's convenient, AC, that you went with Allen Robinson having over 100 yards and a touchdown, because I went with Allen Robinson in my bold prediction having 2 touchdowns on the day. And I'm going to stick with that. I really do think he will have a phenomenal game today. Like you, I think he will be one of 2 bright spots. I do also agree with you that I do think the Bears will lose today to the Tennessee Titans. 31-24. I think A-Rob has 2 touchdowns. I do think the defense gets a touchdown today as well, and a Cairo Santos field goal. And we just can't do enough to stop the Titans and Derrick Henry. But at the same time, all the Titans' points don't come from their offense because, I mean, Nick Foles has thrown 7 interceptions, in his 5 starts, and I fully expect to see 2 more today as well, because I'm going to kind of go with a bold prediction there. One of those will get taken to the house.
All right, so I'm going with the Bears. I think I'm not going to say offensive explosion, but I think we handle this game 24-17. I think Henry kind of gets bottled up a little bit, right? I'm going to still give him a touchdown, but I think he gets bottled up a little bit. I will say my bold prediction, Henry doesn't get over 100 yards. He's had 100. He's had 100 in every game. He's averaging 100, I think, in every game, but he's averaging 110 yards a game. So whether or not that was every game, I don't know. But I'm going to say he doesn't get over 100, and I'm going to give the Bears a 24-17 win. And I don't know. I don't know how we're going to get our touchdowns. I'd like to say whatever, but I'm just going to stay with Henry on the bold prediction, getting bottled up. We got 24-20 Bears in the chat. Darren Chambers, we can do it. I believe too, buddy. We'll see what happens. But I think we can handle this Titans team, man. I think this is just another team that we can go in and kind of take care of. I think the defense knows that they have to show up. And I think
Can I tell you what my first bold prediction was?
Yeah, what you got?
My first bold prediction was that Derrick Henry was going to rush for 200 yards.
Okay.
And I decided to not do that. I just because, I mean, you're missing Roy Robb. You're missing John Jenkins. So that means you've got Bilal Nichols, Brett Urban. These guys are going to be playing a lot of snaps now because they brought McCullers.
Mario Edwards. Dude, we've seen some of these guys ball out, though.
They've made plays, but we've also, I think, only once this season held somebody to under 100 yards.
Well, we shut down Mike Davis. I mean, Mike Davis is not as good as Henry, obviously, but we shut him down. And Kamara, he mostly beat us in the passing game.
Yeah, I'm just saying, who's normally right on their bold predictions on this show? Oh, look at that!
Oh no,
good call. No, I'm kidding, man. I'm kidding.
No, you're totally right. This isn't the first time you've been right.
Thank you.
I know, but I know you've hit a few. I'm just saying, I hit a lot of them, and I'm just
you
gonna
just happen to remember every one of them and write them down.
So, obviously, so do other people. Look at Caesar. You can't fight with a Caesar. This is Caesar. I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. I'm just busting balls, but we'll see what happens. Ooh, special teams take advantage of the play. I like that.
That'd be nice to see CP take one to the house. I'd be down with that.
Matt getting 2 sacks in this game, Chambers. I mean, I think Tannehill's tough to get after, but hey, I'm good. If Henry grabbed 200, it's been a ball. Yeah. I mean, if Henry gets 200, this game's a 31-6 blowout. And Titans are destroying us. But I say we hold them under 100. I mean, we have to. There's no other way we could win. I can't say that Henry's going to get 200 yards and the Bears win. It's impossible. Now that I say that, it'll probably happen. But either way, I think that's what we get, man. Don't forget at halftime, you got Bear football coming live right at halftime. So right at halftime, hop on the network, join Bear football with Mr. Tyler Ellis, Mr. JD Buffone. They'll give you their kind of first half analysis, what's working, what's not working. And then directly after the game, Bear football will be on again right after the game to give you a breakdown and an instant reaction. Join the chat, get with them. I'm going to start with shout outs real quick. I just want to thank everybody who's been tuning into the show, with everybody in the chat this morning, with over 2,000 plus downloads last week's show that we kind of did late and there wasn't a lot of time prior to the game. So people downloading that and going back and listening, we thank you guys so much and appreciate your support. And, we just continue it's just like we said, it's a bunch of fans. We don't think any of our shit sticks. We're just fans talking about football. And like we came up with this whole hashtag Fanalysts, because I think that's what the majority of people are, man. And whether or not they want to claim it, or say that there's something more, like, cool. We'll just be 100% honest with you. We're just fans talking football. And a lot of the time I know my heart speaks more than my brain does. And I go to the optimist part of it, right? Cause there's probably 1,000 things I could tell you that I think is wrong with this team, but I don't want them to come to fruition. So I just kind of shut up about them. But either way, I want to, thank you guys for your support and continued support of the network, and not only the network, but the Barfly Tailgate show. We thank you guys for tuning in with us every morning, and we're going to try to get this raffle going for this Allen Robinson balls. And then we also got another partner joining us, which should be this week, which will be more stuff for you guys. And then we got another one coming, which will be even more for you guys. So we're just trying to team up. Yeah, and another one. We're just trying to team up with people that give you guys some free shit.
Breaking news from Darren Chambers right there, fellas. NFL Live just said Clowney is out today.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we kind of touched on that earlier. With a meniscus tear, dude, I don't even know why they had him as probable.
I don't get it either, because he's just going to shred that if he. Yeah.
And how explosive that dude is pushing off like that. I mean, I know he's lost his step, and I know he's not as good as he was before, but there's no way you can have that dude doing that. Ron Rubnow, thank you very much, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Comments and everybody in the chat.
You guys kick ass, man.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to pass it over to one of you guys. Whoever wants it, take it, get it.
I just want to say shout out, just like Bobby said, everybody tuning in every week. I've had messages and tweets sent at me and stuff, and the love is just it's just incredible to see that. I mean, like you said, Bobby, I'm just on here to talk ball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and there's not a whole lot of Bears fans around here in Kentucky, so to be able to come on here to my weekly therapy session and talk Bears with you guys, I love it, man. I live for it. Anybody who knows me knows I'm a little bit of a fanatic, kind of a crazy person. Some people are car guys. They love cars. Some people love trucks. I love football of all types, and specifically Bears and my Kentucky Wildcats. So I love coming on here with you guys. And as you guys can see today, I'm wearing my Salute to Service jersey, Danny Trevathan.
Yeah,
and shout out to all the veterans that serve with myself and Bobby, you know, our brothers and sisters in arms. Veterans Day is coming up this Wednesday, so definitely shout out to anyone who served our country, and prayers to anyone who's out there doing so right at this moment. Thank you, and you're greatly appreciated.
Yeah, man. I want to shout you guys out, KB as well. We know he had to bounce. You know, being a fireman, he's got some way higher responsibilities than I ever thought of having. So, you guys, man, make this fun. We get to do this week over week. The fans tuning in week over week, following us on social media, interacting with us, and chiming in during the show, man. We really appreciate everything you do. And then I'm going to pop this graphic up here, man. The Allen Robinson Within Reach Foundation. Such an honor and pleasure to be able to work with Allen and his foundation, and Austin and Madeline. We can't thank you guys enough, and really appreciate this partnership. And we cannot thank the ball girl, Jamie Dragani, enough for the work that she does. Anytime we come to her with any sort of idea, she's always right there to add that extra special touch or something that maybe we weren't thinking about. Please, guys, if you haven't checked out what she's doing, she has so much stuff now that she's doing, not just custom sports balls. She's doing Christmas ornaments and cutting boards and trophies and you name it, man. She is killing it. So please, check out the ball girl, whether it's on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, her website, whatever it is. And then the rest of the guys on this network, man, Aldo, Gaines, John Buffone, Mike North, David Schuster,
Danny Shimon,
Danny, Neil, Mark Shanowski, who am I? Greg Gabriel. I mean, I'm sure I'm missing people like Stacey King now, former Bull Stacey King, doing a show on this network. Like
Goon and the Tooch coming up next.
John and Joe, Goon and the Tooch will follow us here in probably about 45 minutes. I think they go around 11:30 or so.
Yeah.
Definitely check them out for any last minute fantasy advice for sure. And guys, we've got a great show coming up next week as well. Our buddy Mike Schaefer. I'm sure you probably saw the tweet with the gator I had on yesterday.
Yeah.
Mike's coming on with us, man. He's going to talk about that and some other great stuff that he's doing with the proceeds from the sale of those gators. So if you can, I've got I'm going to send you the website right there. You're just going to go to deepdishtees.myshopify.com. Just search for the gator and some of the other awesome products that they have on that site. It'll be awesome to have Mike on again. We had him on back in the spring as we were talking about as we were wrapping up the draft, and just an all-around great dude. Loves his Chicago sports, and Nagy had that gator on in the game last week, fellas.
Yeah, that was a nice looking gator.
That's a Nagy, and Nagy wore it.
We can't spoil it though. We gotta let Mike tell it when he comes out.
Well, absolutely. So, and just so much great stuff happening at the Barroom Network. Stacey King, welcome to the network, man. Man, I was a freaking young tot, not to make you feel old, Stacey, but watching you ball, man, like, woo, man, it's crazy, man. Say I'm on a network with Stacey King, man. That's pretty dope, man.
Barroom's growing, man.
Definitely, man. Just keep continuing to grow. And like we said, and I know people are commenting in there now, 4,000, retired Navy and everybody for Veterans Day. And Rock Davis, great show again. We appreciate you, Rock. And everybody in there, DK47. What up, fellas? What up, DK? Hey, man. So I don't know. I'm going with the Bears victory. I know you guys aren't, but I'm going with the Bears victory. And
I'll take it if we win. the O line is just, for me, it's difficult to overcome that with brand new guys and guys that have never played a single snap.
I know, man, but the O line just needs to get out there and bear down.
Bear down.
Bear down, everybody.